Hello everyone, this is Dipson. In this video, I will be exploring a simple C# called arithmetic parse. The class is designed to parse and equivalent the basic arithmetic expression. Now let's dive into the code and see how it works. The heart of the class is the parse method. It takes an arithmetic expression as input, breaks down into its operand and operation. If an insufficient number of parameter is invalid, this displays an error message. Otherwise, it equivalents the expression and returns the result. The method identifies the operation by splitting the expression based on the standard arithmetics. If there is only one operand, it looks for a corresponding variable using a variable dot find variable method. When there are the two operators, the method extract and the operators and perform the corresponding arithmetic. The result is then returned. Now let's move on to the circle. The class introduces a method called draw, which is the graphic object to draw a circle on a specified canvas. It supports both file and outline circle, and even includes a unique flashing features in different color combination. There is a special flashing functional implementation and the circle. It allows the circle to flash between two colors like red, green, blue, yellow, or black and white. The dynamic effect is achieved using multi-threading. The flashing effect is executed in a separate thread, ensuring the smooth animation without freezing the application. The start flashing method controls the colors and alternation, creating the virtual co- co- alternating the virtual result. Now let's see how the circle is drawn. Now clicking on the star, it's running. Circle, color yellow, red. I'm sorry, red. Let's put red. Circle 50. Let's put only red. Red. So here is a color which has been formed red. Now let's move on to uh, draw two line. So the primary purpose of draw to class is to create a line segment on the graphical canvas. It stores the information about the color, whether it's a field or and the coordination of both starting and ending point of the line. The class includes an overload construction that allows you to initialize the properties such as color field, starting point and ending point. This provides a conversation way to create a segment and a character state. The draw line method is responsible for resending the line on the canvas. It utilizes a paint object, defines the color and with drawing a line from a specified starting point to the ending point. The class implement a new version set method inheritance from the basic class. This method allows you to set and update a color field starting and ending the point line segment on the go, providing a clean, efficient way to modify its properties. Now let's move on to the functions. The function class has a private and static dictionary named functions acting as a storage container for a function. This dictionary is static, ensuring the retain its data across the instance of the class. To provide the control access and the dictionary, the class includes a public static property named function. This property allows you to get and enter the dictionary of functions, offering a convenient way to manage retaining function data. The class provides a method class clear, which allows you to reset the function dictionary and useful when you want to start and clean the state and clear out the function. So the method of search function also search and function it's by the function is found dictionary and corresponding value returns otherwise. Now let's start, and let's see it's how it functions. uh, Color, uh, circle, circle, uh, 30, CIRCLE, circle 30, and run. Let's run it, and it says like clear. Let's put a clear here, and check whether the function is working or not. So just let's run it now. So yes, so this is how it runs. Now, now moving on to the logic parts. Uh, to handle the arithmetic expression with a logical condition, logical parse class has included an instant of an arithmetic parse. The integration allows you to seamless evaluation arithmetic expression within a logical compression. The parse method of a class takes a logical expression as an input, splitting into the operates and operates like if the expression is invalid and lack sufficient operation, the error message is displayed. The arithmetic parse is also the equivalent the numerous values that operates, ensuring the logical expression are based on the valid numerical. The method that switch between the different logical operators such as equal, not equal to, greater than, less than, to, equal to, the greater than, the corresponding Boolean result is then returned. Now let's move on to the method. So uh, let's move on to the method. The method class is designed to represent the method within the application. It has two private fields, method name and method command. This field store a name of method and corresponding command block. To access this field, the class provides two read-only properties, method name and method command. This encapsulation allows control access to the internal details of method instance. The class includes a construction takes a method string as an input. The string is then split into the two pieces, the method name and method command. This method name is extended by removing the partnerness and leading trailing white space, while the class itself does not does not provide the structure the way of retrieve information. The last of application UMI class provides a method dynamically, whereas this lobs separates machines. Now let's move on to the method parse. The method class taken command string as an input which potential contains the multiple method. It uses a separate method to identify and extract each method block. The method are delimited by the method and in method keyboard. Once the keyboard are separated, the class uses the method creation method instant of the method class of which extracted method block. These instant are then stored in the list. The class provided a method name get a command that takes method name as input and returns corresponding method command. It uses the stored list of method instead of finding a matching method and retrieve command block. The class includes error handling such as catching expectations, handling cases where the in method keyboard is missing or which method are not found. So let's run the method which we have created. uh, let's run it and see. Method uh, method a, uh, bracket, and let's put circle 100, then in method, and let's call it space, no space a, yeah, yeah, let's run it now. Yeah, so this is the result from which we saw the method parsing. Now now moving on now moving on with a now moving on with a parse Now moving on with the parse. The parse class is occupied and essential attributes including a graphic object of drawing, starting coordinate with x and y, default color black, field status, and flash option. The heart of the class lies in the parse method, which takes a command string as input. It command the circle, rectangle, triangle, move to, star, draw to, color, fill, clear, var, and more. With the help of the shape factor, the class dynamically creates an instance of different shape classes, circle, triangle based on a parse command and draw them into the canvas. The color command supports the various format, allowing the user to specify the color by RGB value, and also the flashing color combination like red, blue, yellow, and black and white. So yeah, so that's all about the parts. That's all about the parts. Parts helps in to make our shape shiny and flash colors. So now let's move on to the let's move on to the rectangle. So the rectangle class encompasses the essential attributes such as height, and properties based from a shape. The class override the draw method inherits the basic class. It cleverly handles both field and outline color based on the user's specification. Additionally, it supports a flashing colors, introducing a dynamical visual element to the drawn rectangle. When the fill option is enabled and the flash color is the kick off, it separates the thread flashing and it alternates both two colors. To ensure the thread safety during the flashing, the class utilize a look mechanism preventing conflict when updating the graphical canvas. The class includes the custom implementation to string method, providing a string representation of rectangle including the height. Now let's move on to the shapes. The shape class is marked as a abstract, meaning it cannot be it cannot be directly the it declares the factory method draw which every constant shape extending the class must implement the inference constant method of drawing shapes across our application. The class offers a multiple construction providing flexibility and the initial shape. This construction over the various scenario, allowing the developers to set attributes like colors and field concentrate. This default concentration utilize a color starting the coordinates 100 out of 100 and inserting the shape ready to know specify the attributes are provided. The abstract draw method is declared, leaving the implementation detail to define the concentration shape. This method is crucial for representing the shapes and graphical canvas. Now moving on to the safe factors. Safe factors class encapsulate the logical and creating a different shapes dynamically and expose the method of getting shape that takes shape type parameter representing a desired shape returns to the instant of the shape. The method perform a cast instant compromising shape type to known shape like circle, rectangle, and draw to depending on the user request. It returns to the corresponding shape object. It requests the shape type does not match anyone. The factory throws the arguments with the error message. This ensures that the only valid shapes are created. Adding I know. Now moving on to the shape shape interface. Now moving on to the shape interface. The shape interface is a blueprint outline and a required behavior for class wishing recognized as a shape in our application. It declares three initial methods set to the properties draw, refunding the graphics, and another variant of different specific of flashing effect. The set method comes from two flavors, on taking the splitting color parameters and the other expecting flashback. Both variants are responsible for getting the setting initial operation like color field coordinate for the shape. The draw method of crucial part of the interface enforcing the any shape must provide an implementation of reading itself or graphical context. This ensures the consistency in how the shape are visually represented in our application. Now let's move on to the triangle. The triangle is a geographical marvel that inherits the basic shape class. It represents a triangle on our graphical application, offering a flexibility in a color, fill, and flash effect. The triangle class has property of three vertices x2, y2, x3, y3. So four parameters has been taken on drawing the triangles, and which has been side lengthed by A, B, and C. This property dynamically calculates the sideline based on the provided verticals. These are the two construction, one of the direct color specification and another flash effect. Both construction ensure the basic class initialize property and calculate the side length dynamically. The set of method oversize allow dynamically set on the property like the color fill and the vertex ensure the internal side length and recalculate the based on the provide. So let's draw a triangle and let's see how it works. So let's put up four parameters. uh, Invalid. So what happened? Triangle 40, 50, 50, 70, 70. Let's draw. That's what happened. Let's check this out. And let's put it here. Let's see whether it works or not. It's invalid. So the properties that of triangle has been invalid. Maybe the code might be gone somewhere wrong. The set of the method allows the dynamic setting of properties like color, fill color, and verticals. The draw method overtakes a text and refunding its graphics. Now, moving on to the variable parts. Uh, uh, Variable. The variable class acts as a centralized hub and handling the program variables during the runtime. It equates the method of access clear and a variable seamlessly. The variable dictionary, the powerhouse storing the program variable, is like the treasure chest which variable find temporary home ready to exit and utilize. Neat clean state. The class method comes from a requiring mapping and the restraining variable. The variable method is guided in a variable expression. It sorts of the variable and finds its value. If not found, it attempts to the parse and it integrate the handling expression gracefully. So now this is my unit test where I have tested all the programs related to my project, and this is the unit test too. So this is all what I have on my project. Thank you so much. Thank you for providing us this assignment. Thank you so much.